5 things you need to know about Shopify SEO with Iky Tai. In Search SEO Podcast is brought to you by Rank Ranger, the all-in-one SEO platform that helps scale your business through data and analytics. Hey, it's David. What are the key elements of successful Shopify SEO? That's what we're going to be discussing today with a lady who likes coffee, plants, and home decor. She's been a speaker at SEO Mastery Summit, is a contributing writer to the SEOblog.com, and is currently SEO specialist at Global Shares. A warm welcome to the In Search SEO Podcast, Iky Tai.
Hi, hello everyone.
Hi, Iky. Well, thanks so much for coming on. Well, Iky manages globalshares.com. So, Iky, we're talking about Shopify SEO today. So, is Shopify SEO much different to, say, WordPress SEO?
To be honest, I think like every CMS has their strength and weakness. To me, Shopify is a really, really easy to use platform. If you have no coding, technical knowledge, Shopify is good for you to set up your own e-commerce site. So, and then, the community is strong, and then you can easily find something that you need from the team, and then, you can get a lot of support from there. And then I really think that the ease of use is just strongest strength from Shopify.
I'm just thinking about, a better comparison. So maybe WordPress wasn't necessarily the best of comparisons there. Is there a second best e-commerce CMS solution out there that you would also compare Shopify against, or is Shopify by far the leading e-commerce solution for smaller startups in the e-commerce world?
To be honest, if you ask me, I would still recommend Shopify. Mm-hmm. But yeah, of course, there are some alternatives to Shopify, like Magento. I would say they are very similar as well, because, they provide a good solution for every e-commerce owners. So, but for example, of course, you need to check your budget. You need to check how advanced you want to go. Let's say if you just want a couple of things, and then you want Shopify to take care of the main technical issues for you, because I really like that the support team is very strong. They keep improving their technology. So, if you ask me again, I would still recommend you to, try Shopify, and they have 14 days free trial. And then you can check with their support team. They're really helpful. They can, answer almost all of your questions.
Well, that's a glowing reference. But it's funny that you mentioned Magento as well, because I'm aware of Magento as well, and I did a little search for them just now, and I got to the page saying Magento is now Adobe Commerce. I didn't even know about that. I didn't know Adobe bought them. Did you know that?
To be honest, I'm not really a Magento person, but in this world, a lot of news are happening. So yeah.
So today you're focusing on the 5 things you need to know about Shopify SEO. So starting off with number 1, collection versus product page. So what's that all about?
So just imagine that if you are handling product flows, you have a bunch of products that you want to get up right. You just ask yourself a question. Should I create a collection or sub-collection for those products, or just leave them? Usually I would just ask myself back 2 questions. Will I have enough products to sit in the collection? And then the second question is, would the collection page would be something people would search for? Imagine you create a collection page. If no one would search for that, then it's really, a point to set it up. So recently I was handling a couple of painters' trousers, and then I realized that the customers, industrial painters, they wear something very specific for working, which are painters' trousers. And then so I knew that painters' trouser collection would be something that they really would Google if they need one. So that's why I decided to create one. And I also want to say, I got this question asked a lot. People ask, okay, so what about the content writing? Would it be something different? Would it be a little bit different or quite similar to a product page setup? I would say a collection page should be a little bit more general, but at the same time, it should be navigational. It means that on a collection page, you should provide relevant sub-collections or linking for people to explore other similar things. Again, if you land on a collection page called workwear, you'd like to put up like jackets, trousers, shoes, boots, this type of similar things, because I want to buy a workwear trouser. And then, so I know that jackets is not my option. I don't want to, look for something very general. I just want to look for trousers. So if I am provided with other similar relevant options, then a collection page with navigational value would be something nice for a customer. And also, don't forget about products, because sometimes I land on a collection page and it just has a bunch of sub-collections. Yeah, I think it's good that like you guide them, from a main page to a collection page, then to a sub-collection page. It's great, but sometimes customers, they just want to compare pricing, they want to see different colors, so why not provide them as many options as possible?
Use the word collection. Obviously, Shopify used the word collection. Is that the same as a category? Or is
yeah.
actually,
Sorry, yes, because I just want to be more relevant to the Shopify owners. But you're right. Collection means categories. If you are a WordPress user, you'll be more familiar with category. But like if you are a Shopify user, then would be collection.
And number 2 is product page writing, so no copy and paste.
Oh yes, definitely. I think many people know about that, but sometimes it's just so tempting. Your manufacturers, your suppliers send you loads of information about the products, right? And then you just want to copy and paste. That's really understandable. So I want to share like some quick tips for any Shopify owners to write something unique, because everyone knows that unique content is valuable for search engines. I would say that do copy content from them, but use your knowledge, because like if you are in the industry long enough, you definitely have some personal experience to share with your customers. So definitely include your expert tip in your content, just a small like tip box or a small info box to tell people that, hey, you come to the right place. I'm the industry leader. I can tell you some interesting or like some useful tip to help you address your problem. And also include customer questions and answers. Yeah, as I said, like if you're in the industry long enough, you definitely have a bunch of frequently asked questions, so include them. And reviews are also a good way to generate unique content. You don't really need to do a lot of things, just provide them a space for them to write their experience, and then other users would like to read before purchasing. So those are some great tips. And I also want to share one bonus tip, which is to restructure the content. You have a lot of content from manufacturers, from your suppliers. That's great. But, sometimes it's just only in text format. So you could, spend some time to transform the text information to like maybe to show different icons, and under the icons, just say a little bit benefits or features about the products. So it could like, give a very good user experience to your customers, and then make them stay a little bit longer on your site to show that, okay, this is something that I really want.
And number 3, keyword cannibalization. So does this mean that on Shopify sites, it's a bad idea to rank more than one page for the same keyword phrase?
This is ideal, to be honest. But, this issue is very common in e-commerce, especially if you have a very big e-commerce site. Cannibalization is just so common. Imagine that you have a workwear shop. You will have like heavy-duty trouser A and heavy-duty trouser B. They are just so, they could be popular. And then you could have like C and D and E. And you don't want to give up any, because like all of them are so popular, and then they generate revenues, right? So I want to give you a quick tip to address this cannibalization. If you have a bunch of similar trousers on your shop, you should first create a collection. and then to assign all those relevant products to this collection, like heavy duty trousers, right? And then on each single product page, link it back to the collection. Because all those internal linking can send Google or other search engines a very strong signal that, hey, Google, I want you to pay attention to this collection page because it has very strong link signal. And this is something that I want you to rank for. I want you to, rank it higher up than other pages. Mm-hmm. And also, when a person lands on a collection page and they can see different options, even they don't like product A, they still have a chance to look at product B, product C, instead of, okay, just that A trouser. I don't like, sorry, I need to leave. And then you just lose a potential customer.
Takes us up to number 4, which is wise internal linking strategies.
Yeah, sorry. Actually, I have a nice image, but I know that I can't really show it here, but I can explain what does that mean of a wise internal linking strategy.
Yeah, well, Iky, you shared that beforehand that you'd actually put a little presentation together as well. So I want to share with the listener, if you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or whatever, just in audio form only, if you go to the Rank Ranger blog, then hopefully we'll be able to embed the presentation that you put together so people will be able to look at what you're talking about.
Yeah, that would be great. So imagine that we want to link from page A to page B. You just, insert the link and then make sure the link is fine. Then perfect. So it's nothing wrong with a traditional or regular approach to do internal linking. That's completely no problem. But sometimes, especially when you have an e-commerce site, you want something with a strong visual impact and power to, make your customers stay longer and then to explore other things, right? So I think instead of just doing a regular link, you could use icons. I have seen many nice big retailers, they use icons with a nice small little anchor text and then link it to other sub-collections. So capitalizing on icons and some small buttons would be also very nice on a collection page. And then, you may ask me, okay, what about product page? I also want to have some nice or visual internal linking for my pages. I remember that I recently made a hammer page, a bunch of hammer pages. So it's from a Finnish brand called Friskers. So this is a really
So this
brand,
page is actually selling the product, a hammer.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So sorry, I just want to make sure that you weren't referring to a particular type of page, a hammer page that I hadn't actually understood. But okay, you're selling hammers.
Yeah, or knives, these kind of things, right? And then on one product page, I include a comparison table to list all different sizes. Because, if you buy a knife, right, and then you may be interested in a particular size. And then, but if you land on a page and then the size is not something that you're after, and then, but if you see a comparison table with a nice product shot with some very simple, dimension, length or weight, some simple, description. And then you see that, oh, wow. So the supplier actually has a bunch of different options with different sizes. Even the page that I'm on is not something that I'm after, but I know which one I should click on. And then I will just go there and to buy my particular size product. So I think that a comparison table is a definitely good option you should have for your product page. And then actually Amazon and then some big retailers are also using it. And of course, related items, or people say people also bought section is also something nice for implementing internal linking.
Which takes us up to number 5, common tech SEO issues.
Yeah, so Shopify actually, even though I love Shopify, and it's because it's very simple to use, but it has some technical issues that we need to pay attention to. And a very common one would be tag creation. So when you create a tag, Shopify automatically generates a tag page. So what's wrong with tag pages? If you have just 1, 2, 3, or even less than 10 tag pages, I don't think that you will have a big problem. But if you have if you are having a shop longer and longer, and then probably you will have maybe 100 tag pages created each month. So it will be a big problem because a tag page actually look really, really the same as your collection page. Maybe the URL is a little bit different. Maybe the filter tree is a little bit different, but basically Google or other search engines will think that, okay, your collection page and your tag page are the same. So you create lots of duplicate pages or near duplicate pages to confuse Google. So Google don't like confusion. And then, duplication also cause a bunch of different problems like dilution of the visibility on Google search and link equity. So we really don't want duplication. So two quick tips to address the problems. First, you could do a non-index for all tag pages, and I would also include all this coding in my slides, and then you could check the go back to the website and then check the coding that you could apply for your website. The first one is the non-index, and then the second one is canonical tag. So both of them are a good way to address the duplication problem. So now we have two options, right? Which one should I use to address my duplication problem? Based on what Google said, sometimes there's no absolute answer to your situation. It means either way could work well for your case. But just a quick one, if you really have a strong preference that I don't want my page to be found on Google search, then use non-index. But if you think that, I don't really mind, but I want to consolidate all those similar pages and then to send a signal to Google that, this is the master copy that I want you to rank for. But if you think other individual pages have the value for a particular search query, okay, fine. I don't mind you rank that page, but just my preference that, okay, you could rank for that one. So if it's this case, then you could use canonical tag to address your duplication problem. And then the other interesting technical issue, I would say, would be structured data. I know, people will say that, I know I should include the reviews. I should include pricing, currency in my structured data so that Google know that it's a product, and then it could tell people that, okay, if it's in stock or out of stock, something like that. Yes, that's true. But today I want to share one more tip about your structured data for your blog posts. So Google, I would say 2 years or 3 years back, introduced a schema called FAQ page schema. I would say this is a really nice schema because it could increase your real estate, and it's so easy to implement for Shopify blog. And I would also include all those steps. It's just 3 simple steps, and then you can have a very nice listing feature on Google search.
The tips keep coming. Let's finish off with
the Pareto pickle.
So Pareto says you can get 80% of your results from 20% of your efforts. What's one SEO activity that you would recommend that provides incredible results for modest levels of effort?
That one must be internal linking. When I first heard of it, and then I just couldn't believe it. And then, wow, that's so easy. I didn't even need to write a lot of things. And then just to implement internal linking, I didn't really believe it, to be honest, when I heard it initially. But when I implement to my site, I really could see the difference because, but of course, just make it clear here, my pages are already optimized. So they kind of have a good content. And then instead of, to drill deeper, to think about the user, to think about the competitors, okay, a lot of research there. So focus on internal linking. Figure out the page that you want Google to pay attention to. then give the page more links.
Well, internal linking must be the answer given for the Pareto pickle by over 50% of SEOs that I've interviewed. So there's certainly something in that one. I've been your host, David Bain. You can find Iky at Iky Tai on Twitter. Iky, thanks so much for being on the In Search SEO podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And thank you for listening. Check out all the previous episodes and sign up for a free trial of the Rank Ranger platform over at rankranger.com.